Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Madi Caputo, sophomore from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, who leads the Stars with 9 goals this season. And Madi, last week, the team picked up a pair of league wins. You had 4 goals in that stretch. What went into your performance and the team's performance last week?
It started our first game where I scored 2 goals, and the other team, Central Christian, they were up by 1. And we kind of just had to have a heart-to-heart talk during halftime, what we individually need to do and what we need to do as a team. But we brought it all together and we were able to come out with a 3-1 win. And then our next game versus Sagu at home the other night, it was really just, it's a battle of just our internal, like, we need to do this, and we were able to accomplish this. But we were able to pull that out with a 3-0 win, and I'm really proud of us for doing that.
You have 5 winning goals to your credit this season. What's been working for you? What's your role on this team?
What's been working for me, I'm just trying to play soccer. I love the sport, and it's always been a part of my life. It'll probably always be a part of my life, and it's just something that I love to do. My role on the team is I don't really see myself with a specific role besides just doing what I think I need to do to help us succeed.
In high school, you focused on track rather than focusing mainly on soccer. What was it that made, when you came here to OCU, that made you choose to focus on soccer?
Well, I did do soccer in high school. I did track since middle school. At my school, in middle school, 7th grade, I started doing track because my dad did track and my mom did, and it's always been a part of our family's history, and so that's what I decided to do. In high school, I tore my ACL my freshman and sophomore year, and so I did try for the soccer team, but very soon after that happened, and I wasn't able to play again until junior year. Well, when that came around, I was already playing club soccer, TSC, ECNL team, and I was also committed at that point to high school track, and we were winning state and stuff. So I decided it was too much to do 3 different sports, and so I chose my priorities. I evaluated them, and I decided that high school soccer wasn't necessary for me to compete at the next level.
What was it that brought you to OCU?
I really fell in love with the coaches, and I love all the history and all the knowledge that Coach Harvey has. And I fell in love with the school. Whenever I came on my first visits here, I met with the girls on the soccer team. They were so welcoming, and I love the atmosphere of the school.
What's your major?
My major is business marketing.
And what kind of career goals do you have for yourself?
I want to be a veterinarian, so I'm taking on my prereqs to be a vet, but I also am getting my master's in marketing so that I can own my own business and help with other businesses one day.
What legacy do you think Coach Brian Harvey will leave on the soccer community in the city of Oklahoma City, here at OCU, and in the state of Oklahoma?
He already has a big legacy. If you talk to any soccer coach anywhere in Oklahoma, they know his name and they know how much he's contributed already to the state. Before he came here, club soccer wasn't really a thing, and he brought to us this kind of thought of playing soccer for fun and not doing it for money, But he just has so much knowledge with him, and it's going to be really sad when he goes.
All right, that's Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Madi Caputo. You can follow the Stars on OCUsports.com.
What I've learned the most from golf is to have integrity in everything you say and do.
One of the biggest lessons of that sports impacts my daily life is discipline.
Be a champion of character, it just means to realize first that you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Being a part of NAIA is something that I'm going to keep with me forever because it's not only made me a better athlete, but it's made me a better person.
The NAIA really just cares about their student athletes and just the experience in general at the school, and I think that that's really important.
The NAIA stands for, has great core values. One that's most important to me is servant leadership. Being able to serve your community is a huge reason why I chose the NAIA.
I am a champion of character.
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 Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to men's basketball coach Stan Holt, entering his first year guiding the Stars. And Coach, how excited are you to take over this team? Won the conference tournament last year to this team. What's the excitement level for you?
It's really high. We have a great group of returners. We've added a great group of newcomers, and I think that right now it's really early, so they're still trying to blend and create some chemistry. So that's new, right? It's all new for them. It's new for me. New assistant coach, and didn't have the same coach that I had at Langston, and so here at this point we're still trying to get to know each other. But the excitement is really high, as it should be. I think we'll have something that the fans and the alums can all be really proud of.
We're going to go through your roster a little bit. First of all, the returning guys. Take us through some of the returning guys that are going to make an impact this year.
Yeah, the returners that we have that really have contributed the previous season. Trey Bryant is back. A lot of the fans will remember him, and he's had some really explosive games, battled some injuries last year, and so we're looking for him to have a really, really special senior year. Anthony Davis, who's an all-conference player, will be back as well. Gives a great post presence, but also can stretch the floor as a stretch four with his ability to shoot the ball. So he's a really dangerous player. Eric Watry is back, who I absolutely love coaching. He's a great guy on and off the court. Does a lot of the little things that you don't necessarily see in the box score, but really, really affects winning. And Darion Willies, who's an excellent perimeter defender and inside defender. He's a great threat in transition, and I think that his role will expand this year, and I think that he'll make more of an impact that maybe some of the other teams in the conference will anticipate.
You got a couple of guys that were on the team last year, sat out with injuries, that are going to come in and help this team as well, and a group of newcomers like you mentioned. Take us through some of the guys who we haven't seen yet.
So Keelan Claiborne is a guy that was here last year, but unfortunately had an injury, as you mentioned. So he redshirted, so he'll still have 2 years left, and we're really excited about what we've seen with him in practice thus far. And actually I recruited him some previously, so I knew Keelan a little bit. I knew what he was capable of, and so I was excited to have him on the roster. The other returners, Brandon Combs, Ryan Leach, and Curtis Osceola, are all working extremely hard right now on the court, battling for time. And then the newcomers. We have PJ Grooms, who's come in, who's got 3 years left. He'll be a great threat from the perimeter, we believe. Eli Gomzi is from Cameroon. He has a great sense of humor. He'll make you laugh. Inside-outside threat, we believe, as well. Give us some great depth at the forward position. A.J. Cockrell originally signed Division I out of high school from the Tulsa area. So local fans will get a chance to cheer for a local player who we think, as a five-man, can be dominant in the paint. Eddie Smith's a freshman from Birmingham, Alabama. I believe that he can have an immediate impact. And I think that's rare to say for freshmen in the Sooner Athletic Conference. So we're really looking forward to having Eddie here. And then Rashawn Coleman was a All-American at Eastfield, second-team All-American, I believe. He's come in and he's given us great spark. He can do a lot of different things, but he's a quick guard, and we think that he'll be a really, really good contributor for us this year.
You spent the last few seasons in the Sooner Athletic Conference at Langston. What was attractive to you about the position here at OCU when it came open?
Oklahoma City University has a great reputation and a great history, not only locally but nationally at the NAIA level. There's so much history of winning. There's a great history of players coming back and supporting the program, continuing to be involved. I've had some great conversations with not only current administration here, current employees here, but also people that have left the school but seem to always want to come back and support it. And so there's some great alums out there outside of athletics as well that support the university. I just think that a lot of universities talk about a family atmosphere. That's fun to say. You don't really know if that's the case until you get there. But all the coaches support other programs within our athletic department. I've just enjoyed being here. and it was really, really attractive on the outside for those reasons, but being here, it's delivered.
I know one of the things you've said about your teams is that you want them to be very unselfish.
Yep.
So what kind of things have shaped your coaching philosophy over the years to arrive at that kind of identity for your team?
I think basketball is a great sport to watch when the team is unselfish. I think it's a great sport to play when your teammates are unselfish. And I think you're harder to guard when you're that way. So we always talk about our players thinking about the next guy, right? Always think about the next guy. And unselfish, I know a lot of people think about that offensively, but it's the same defensively, right? Like we want to sacrifice ourselves for the good of the team. And that's what we've been preaching since day one. And our players, to their credit, have embraced that.
What kinds of things do you look for in a prospective student athlete?
We would love to find student athletes that have inherent toughness and heart, a willingness to do what's necessary to win, do what's necessary to get better. The longer we have someone in our program, the more opportunity they have to develop and get better. That doesn't happen unless you have a willingness to work and have some toughness to you and have some heart to you. And I think the other one is we really try to find players that have great IQ. We can teach to a certain extent, but getting players that have a sense of awareness of where they need to be on the court and have a great IQ really goes a long way in us getting to the finer details of both offensive defense as we get closer and closer to the end of the season. It can really separate teams.
I think you've touched on it a little bit already, but what's unique about OCU that you've noticed?
Right. So going back to what I've said earlier, the history is really unique. I think the academic programs that are offered here, I think the makeup of those programs, the makeup of the student population, and I think just the ranking of some of those programs is very impressive. I don't think that this university nationally, in certain ways, gets enough credit for how strong the academics are here, and I really, really embrace that. I enjoy that, and I appreciate the academic rigors of this institution. And so along with the history, I think the academic programs that it's offered and the achievements that those programs and those alums, what they've been able to achieve. You hear the stories all the time. We get these emails about this is what the alums are doing. It's just remarkable. Every week we get this email about here a long list of things that our alumni are accomplishing, going out into the world. And I think that's exciting for recruiting, that we can recruit players and say, look, you can come here and have all these great connections with all these wonderful people that have done all these amazing things and connect with those people as you find your way in life and find your way in your respective careers. So that makes it really unique.
All right, that's OCU men's basketball coach Stan Holt. You can follow the Stars on OCUsports.com.